Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. William Samoei Ruto rushed to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport midday this Tuesday in an impromptu tour that was triggered by something I want us to look at in this podcast. Now, I wanted to watch this video play here. This is a video of William Ruto arriving, and I've followed on this critical development because there was actually the person who tipped me before even the State House released their video was someone who was actually there. Someone who was in the airport was telling me, hey, Koni Raisa, there was a bit of some commotion because it was something that was unexpected, and he didn't go to the VIP section. He was actually using the ordinary side, and he was just around. People thought he was going, but people were like, he normally uses the VIP, he will not be seen. But he mingled by those workers there and the Kenyans that were traveling abroad, that were flying abroad, and visited different departments within JKIA. That tour is what has been shown there. Part of his engagement is with other Kenyans and students, Kenyans and non-Kenyans, who are flying out of the country, just to try to find out what exactly is going on. So the video was these videos were actually circulated, and they were released by the State House team. I have realized one thing is that our media team in State House need to be a little bit proactive and timely, because yesterday, this is just a side note, yesterday during the visit by the Indonesian team released their video, a meeting that ended by around 2 p.m. They released their video immediately, like 10 minutes after the meeting. They had already produced, they had already edited and released their video. Our State House team released their video at around 4:30. Later, almost close to 3 hours after the event ended. And of course, the media team, the mainstream team and the journalists were looking for those footages. And they could not send us those footages. They sent it a little bit late, and really people are asking. So we need someone could be sleeping on the job. Someone needs to work on that. Now, this video was also released, William Ruto interacting, and if you look at his people that accompanied him, one is Mining Cabinet Secretary, the former Kwale governor. Then the other person is Alfred Mutua, Foreign Affairs CS. So you'll try to look at those two waziris and some other peers and try to gauge what exactly had happened. But then there were reports that there was an upsurge of people leaving the country, Kenyans traveling abroad, and also other non-Kenyans that were leaving the country. This story has been in circulation for the last 2 days. People are actually asking what exactly is going on, that there is an increase of people leaving the country. Did it bother in security intelligence, or it was just an upside down? One of the things that happened here is there have been a problem with the visa processing for a couple of weeks. So immediately there was a relief that they were processed. I think they were processed in lump sum, and that's why they were released once. However, something is going on. I have tried to think about William Ruto inspecting JKIA because it will be the landing site of, it is also an important infrastructure in respect to the climate summit that is expected in the country, that is going to be held in the country in September. But I have been a little bit restrained because I'm not seeing the cabinet secretary in charge of climate environment, that is Soipan Tuya, and Penina Malonza. The two, I saw them when William Ruto was inspecting KICC. He was accompanied by both Alfred Mutua, Penina Malonza, and Soipan Tuya. So, of course, that was the venue. That is going to be the venue of that climate summit. Kenya is going to host that summit and is going to expect 15 heads of state in the country. So I was trying to think, okay, it was part of an inspection because he also inspected He also inspected KICC that had some facelift. How about the other end? Of course, also JKIA had some facelift, according to some reports. Now, I've also not seen Kipchumba Murkomen. Yeah, the airport, JKIA, is an infrastructure that falls under the Ministry of Transport, which is headed by Kipchumba Murkomen. So I've also not seen Murkomen in accompanying William Ruto to JKIA. So if it was something to deal with the JKIA, at least Murkomen, Soipantuya, and Malonza, at least one or two could have accompanied the president there. But then they've said that it was impromptu. I want us to look at it differently. And there could be something happening behind the scene. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also watch our videos. Thank you very much for those who are sharing. We are doing 100 subscribers challenge. Yeah, we are resuming it pole pole. Once in 1 week in a month. So this week, this week we are going to do 100 subscribers challenge. The first week of every month, that is. The last week of this month, we are going to do it. So come on, subscribe, kindly subscribe, and also let's push. Now, Ruto is sending a message on Immigration Department about expose. There is an expose that I want you to watch, and it was made by one of his close allies, Gladys Boschole, while speaking in Spice FM.
I had some guests arriving from overseas, and we were waiting for them at the immigration place. And then when they got there, they said, we've been asked to pay for the visa, but they want cash. They won't accept their cards. So I asked myself, you mean there is a place where you still collect? So that $50 they pay, does it really make it to the government? Who collects? That guy who's collecting 50, why do they want cash? So then, anyway, I had to go to the bank downstairs, get dollars in cash, and take it up to my guest to pay. And in fact, actually, I made a note that I need to call PS Bitok and just let him know that cannot happen. Yes. Not Why don't you have a card machine there? Why don't you have the M-Pesa? Because inevitably, somebody who's coming from overseas, the only payment method you have when you travel is your credit card.
It's card.
Yeah. So why is it that we don't have a card machine? Is it because we don't have card machines in Kenya, or is it because there is a bigger racket? And those are conversations that need to be held.
Now, Gladys Boschole had raised an alarm and saying that immigration department is rotten. You know, he had said about it. And actually, she was on record speaking about the fact that she was actually speaking about, she was even willing, or she wanted to call the PS so that she tells the PS that that should not happen, that cannot happen in the country. And so is trying to perfect the immigration in respect to that expose. Someone might have made a call to the president and Ruto and told him that hapa immigration kuna shida. And of course, there is also one thing I'm realizing, and I'm just gathering it from that a statement by Boschole, that there is this directive to ensure that all government services, the payment is made through the pay bill, the 22222. Even though some lobby group has challenged it in court, I think, because it's a bit, it's discriminating other telecommunication companies, because 222 could only be working probably for one like Safaricom or so, and not all. Also, someone has also gone to court to challenge it. But William Ruto wanted to walk there and find out, are people using it? Is it being applied there? Probably. But I'm looking at that expose by Gladys Boschole. That is one of the reasons. That is an intel that they gathered, and that is why they rushed there. Number two, Ruto, there could have been an intelligence report on maybe security status in the facility. And the intelligence could have thought that maybe people are leaving because of something, and that is why he rushed there just to exude confidence. You know, to exude confidence on the facility in the country. This goes to, this facility is supposed to, it's going to be the entry point of 15 heads of state in this country. And when the president then walks in there, interacts there, then leaves, it's one way to show, it boosts the confidence of the country that something is going on. I remember Kenya Airways recently, I think last week, received a boost from Treasury. Yes, it was bailed. They received some very serious bailing from Treasury just to help them keep them afloat. That is something that you could see. Fact-finding mission, what exactly is going on? Why exactly are people leaving the country? So he went there to know what is it about? What exactly is the problem? Or why these people that are leaving, what are they all about? So he just went there on some fact-finding mission. But again, the fact that it was impromptu tells that it was not something. In fact, for the president, I've always said there is nothing like impromptu. Everything is already organized. Before president goes there is an advanced team that must go and do security checks, strategic positioning. President cannot go there anywhere in this country impromptu. He cannot. There is a round-of-the-clock security again around him. And so the fact that this was impromptu was just for the newspaper, for the writing, for the news. But the truth of the matter is everything here was planned. For a person the caliber of the president cannot walk to Kibera because of impromptu. No, there must be a lot of groundwork and advanced team that must be deployed there. Thank you.